Continues Rabeinu Yona's incredible Sharei Teshuva. We're now up to the third of the four groups of those who are not going to be Zeichel and Mikabel Pnei Ashchina. The first two, we just finished, I should say, Shakarim, the groups of liars. Now we get up to Chanufa, flattery. V'zeh Devar Kat Chanifim, page 517. Inyan Akat Azois. This group, Nechlak Letisha Chalakim, 9 different categories. And as we learned to the previous groups of Shakarim, we're going to be going in descending order of severity, meaning from the most Chomer down to the least. Hachelik Arishain says Rabeinu Yona, the most severe form of flattery of Chanufa, Hechanif asher hikir oira oyada. The flatterer who knows, who sees, he realizes Kish avel bekav chaveroi, that his friend got something illegally, Hachzek betarmos, and his friend has engaged in some sort of illegal activity, some fraud, or someone did an avera through lashon hara, or hurtful words. Yet he smooth talks him, saying, you didn't do anything wrong. So the highest level of Chanifa is you see someone who did an avera, he committed a crime, and you tell him, no, it's okay, don't worry about it, it's not so bad. Hama'at mimenu. Is it not enough? Is it not enough that you should have been the one to give him rebuke? You should have been the one to tell him what he did was wrong, and you're praising him. You're telling him it's not so bad. Shenemar, we have a din in the pasuk. You don't want to bear your friend's sins. You know what you have to do? You have to give rebuke. Now, of course, that's to be done in the appropriate manner, with appropriate words, and only one who knows how to and is able to. But certainly, one should not. But you shouldn't make it worse by telling him he never did anything wrong. As the Navi Yirmiyahu says, they encourage the sinners. This flatterer, this guy is foolish, and he becomes as if he's over the Aveira Kiloy Kanal Emes. He doesn't care about Emes, he doesn't stand up for the truth. Aval Yazar Acharav Sheker. He's running after the falsehood, V'yomer L'ra Toiv, and he's telling bad, you're good. V'yasef Chayshech La'ar, and he's telling darkness that you're light. A form of Chanifa, bringing out the evils, the rishos, and pretending and telling them it's not so bad and as if it's good. He also causes the sinner, now we go even worse. You know what your words do? Your words cause the sinner to become even worse. Number one, he's not going to regret he did anything wrong because you're busy praising him. Sheni number two, he's going to repeat his Aveira again, because he was Hillel, he praised the Rasha. You praised him for doing an Aveira. So number one, he's not going to have Charata. And number two, he's just going to continue doing what he did wrong. Milvad, this is aside for aside for the punishment that the one who flatters him is over for the damage he caused to the one that got hurt. Again, we're talking about Reuven hurt Shimon. And you go over to Reuven and you say, Reuven, it's not so bad. Don't worry. So number one, Reuven's not going to feel bad. Number two, Reuven is going to continue doing his evil sadistic acts. Number three, Shimon here is suffering. By you justifying Reuven, you're hurting the victim, Shimon. Aside from the fact that you'll be punished for saying sheker, which is the previous cut that we spoke about, Shnemar Tabed Dovrei Chazov. Continues Rabeinu Yona V'Nemar and says Shlomo Melech Matzdik Rasha Marshia Tzadik. One who's Matzdik, he makes righteous the Rasha, he makes evil the Tzadik. To'ayvas Hashem Gam Shneim. Both are a to'iva, whether saying good is bad or bad is good. Kol shekain. Certainly, certainly, if the avera of the friend is widely known, and you're busy there saying to him, it's not so bad. If you tell him in front of other people, no, you didn't do anything wrong. Chilel ubaze das v'din. You're desecrating the actual din. You're making the halacha cheap by everyone saw him violating this crime, and you're telling him it's not so bad. It says Rabeinu Yona, you know how far you have to go? That you don't want to flatter someone who did something wrong in public. You have to put yourself into sakana. Rather than subject yourself to such a terrible sin. Agrippas was reading the Torah. When he reached the pasuk in Devarim that said, you cannot place upon yourself an ishnachri, a foreign man who's not your brother, zol goein of demois. He started crying because his own kingdom was violating this very pasuk. But the people gathered around said to him, no, you are a chinu, you are a brother. Said the Chachamim ba'isa shah at that moment. At the moment that the people were mechanif, they flattered him to pretend it wasn't so bad. That caused Klal Yisrael's destruction. Because they flattered Agrippas. All the more so in the case of a judge who has a special commandment, a special mitzvah to do and not be afraid of anyone. And part of this is Adam Rasha. This type of flatterer is a part of a wicked person, and he's part of two of these terrible groups. He's combining the previous cat of Hanifa, of Sheker, with this group of Hanifa. But among the categories, there's also Shabbat Chanif, Nisbev, Ovid, Ba'ada Chanufa, Levad Kasher Yispar. They're also the flatterers will perish, they'll be lost, they'll be punished, even if it's not a sheker. So he's saying usually the Chanifa is with sheker, even if not, it's a horrible sin. And we'll pick it up from here, B'siyata Dishmaya.